Yes. The word responsibility and accountability, which seem to be lacking in Grenada right across the board. And I think, we tend to put the word blame to shield from any meaningful dialogue. We say we blaming and so on, but we have not held people accountable over the years for either their lack of foresight or lack of doing what they were hired or required to do. Now, the thing about what we are facing now, we shouldn't be so much in a reactive mode. I know people in any case situation, people with still there'll be some level of reaction, but the level of reaction should not have been. More than a month, I've been speaking about the need for leadership. And when people hear me the word leadership, you're thinking about a position. Leadership in terms of, and I'll show you, in South Africa, the government have decided to put a shut down the country for 21 days as we have done here. But what they did is precisely what I've been asking for. For instance, the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, was seen instructing his troops, who are going to enforce the shutdown. Now, I don't believe in war terms and so on, but he equated what was happening as a war, and he said, look, we are all in this together. Now, this is what I've been saying, Gary did this when there were crises, I think Hurricane Janet. Bishop did this when we had dengue. I'm saying that been lacking. Of course, we have seen a little improvement in the last couple of weeks in terms of our own leadership. But when you speak like that, people think, oh, you don't like the person. And what we need is clear, and in fact, some of those words came out on your program and other people's program in the last few days, where like Mr. Ramdani was talking about clarifying, making things clear. A lot of things is not clear, so people are confused and they're making all kind of assumption.
Okay.
So you see, when there is lack of clarity, and then another thing about listening. And Blossom, I will tell you a situation where
very quickly,
even when I was speaking to you recently, you were not listening. I wouldn't tell you on there. I'll talk to you about that. Thanks.
Thank you very much, caller. You can't tell me if I was listening or not. No comments. Let me go to the WhatsApp. Lord. So, good morning. People must realize this disease was not caused by the government. Instead, we pray and ask God for protection from it. We're asking who will compensate us. We are doing good for a small... we're asking who will compensate us. We are doing good for a small island. I have to read with the intention. I see the question mark late. Many Grenadians are very irresponsible and immature. It is being displayed by their behavior. All they have is old talk, as the old people say. We are very selfish, and sometimes others are not happy until they see the misfortune of others, especially when they themselves have misfortunes. In all this, Blossom, remember to take care of yourself and family. Kudos to the GBN. You are doing a great job. Thank you very much. We are trying our best to take care of our families and ourselves here as well. Being out on the road as essential workers, we have added responsibility to take care of ourselves. So thank you very much. Let me go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Hi, morning.
Morning.
I'm calling for the program this morning.
Yes, you're on the program. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, good morning, Blossom. Concerning licensing of vehicles. Okay, I went down to get my vehicle license in Dusty Highway, and there's no one there. What is really going on? Because the 31st, it is due, and if I have to use my vehicle on the 1st of April, I will not be able to use it because police is going to give me a ticket. So I would really like to know what is going on concerning inspection of vehicles. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. I'm not sure if you're the same person. I think I saw that question on the WhatsApp this morning. I think I saw that. I have not heard specifically about licensing, but a lot of deadlines have been extended in various scenarios. I am not sure. I repeat, I am not sure. I would verify if licensing of vehicles is one of them. but it's possible because I don't think this is seen as an emergency that we need to license our vehicles right now, but I would double check to make sure. So what we can do is make some phone calls. While we're stuck at home, we still have access to phones. Make a phone call and inquire, is this still happening? Is the deadline still this for this? And so on and so forth, to avoid any doubt. So maybe you can contact the traffic department of the RGPF at Central to verify. Or you can maybe call, but then again, the garage in Grandance is probably closed. But you can call the RGPF to verify if the deadline still is March 31st to ensure. Because they're focusing on bigger things right now than inspection. But just verify. Good morning.
Good morning. With respect to your last caller, it has been months now, well, a couple of months, that it was said that the inspection at Dusty Highway is closed, and that inspection will be taking place at the traffic office and the carnage. Everybody should know that by now.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Okay. What I really call for is that I have something to tell to the people. This is what I was told, and I know to be forewarned, people who pass on those dreams, the people you normally say they are crazy, but I'm not crazy. I'm in my full senses. I've already testified in my church, and I've been telling people that I meet one-on-one as I go about. It's about a month ago or so, I had a dream that I was standing in a place similar to the Spiceland Mall car park with a lot of people around. And I look ahead and I saw a light coming towards me. And I look at it, and as it approached me closer, I saw a man with a cross on his side standing in the lights. And it come in, and I pointed to it, and I shouted, Jesus is coming to Grenada. Jesus is coming to Grenada. Jesus is coming to Grenada. And somebody on my far left said, go and tell the people. So I'm using your media to help me tell the people what was told to me and what I saw.
All right.
And in this time when this thing is going on, the authorities have sent out some regulations. I beg people to obey the regulations, because those regulations are also in Isaiah 26, 20, and 21. Go in and shut your doors and let these things, this disease pass.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much, caller. Well, I wasn't aware of the moving of the inspection. It probably slipped me, or I don't know. But I wasn't aware, so thank you very much. So the lady with the inspection, just verify that it's still happening. There was a question since yesterday about CXC and CPEA. There was a news conference yesterday by the Caribbean Examination Council. And in part of the news release, I will just read a part of it because as our students are home and parents and guardians as well, the Caribbean Examination Council recognizes the impact of COVID on the education system in general, and more specifically on the schedule of CXC regional examinations. Accordingly, the Council has proposed a revised examination strategy to yield valid grades and minimize the disruption to the education system during these unprecedented times. Consequently, the Council has made the policy decision to offer a modified examination process as follows: administration of at least one common paper, multiple choice assessments, school-based assessments, SBAs and paper 32s for private candidates, and award final grades based on the moderated SBAs and multiple choice papers. So they are making modifications for those of you who need to sit CXC in 2020. They have also advised that students can contact their various institutions to verify exactly what is taking place. So call then there may not be anybody in school anyway. but there may be WhatsApp groups and other communication that are taking place between teachers and students. So discuss among yourselves to ensure that everybody is aware of what needs to take place as it relates to CXC. I'm still looking for the information relating to CPEA specifically. In the meantime, let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Blossom, just quickly, I am aware that the leper settlement and the quarantine point is two different things. I was just going on. What I was trying to suggest is that when people have these different diseases, they should be quarantined. But getting back to the point, I heard you say that if people sick, there's no way that the government could force them to be quarantined.
That's not what I said.
Just say what you said.
I said, why should we insist on the government to force adults to do what adults should be doing?
Right, okay. So I am saying to you, I want you to listen to me very carefully. We are paying the government of Grenada and from the taxpayers of this money to act in the interest and keep us safe. They're not doing us a favor. So it is up to them. While I understand your position and I respect your position, put it in all the pipe and smoke it. We are paying them. They have to take all the necessary measures to protect us, even though it means that you quarantine the people, because that is what we're paying them for.
All right, thank you very much. You're still missing the point. It's not about what we're paying them for and taxpayer. That is not the point. The point is, if I cannot quarantine 110,000 people, we do not have the facilities for that. So if I'm telling you to self-isolate, whether you have the virus or not, what about that I have to be running behind you and make sure that I hold you and drag you in a quarantine point because you can't listen? That's my point. Good morning.
Hi, Blossom. I just had to come back. The gentleman who spoke before your last caller about that dream that he had, I want to advise us not to take this lightly. And I'll tell you what, now, some years ago, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, I was sitting in church. And maybe longer than that, I was sitting in church. And I went in a trance, like I was conscious, but like I was somewhere else. And I saw, I just saw a light shine from the sky, and I look up, and there were some angels coming down with a stairway. It's like some steps, and it was put down. And I said, Lord, this thing's so beautiful and so clean. They shouldn't put it right on the ground, but they put it down on the ground, and the angels disappeared. And in my spirit, I say, the Lord is going to visit Grenada. That's for him to come down. That's the way that Jesus will come down to Grenada.
Okay.
So that was about maybe 7 years ago, because I think I was at SG already.
Okay.
But that thing, so people must not take that lightly, because God never do anything unless he tell us before. So people should not take this lightly.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. J. Let me go back by the WhatsApp. We need to stop blaming the government for our behavior as a people. Facts. We as big people need to understand that we are responsible for our own selves. Every day my son is asking me when he's going back to school, and believe me, I just try to make him understand why he is at home. Exactly. I believe that we as descendants of slaves, I'm assuming, also like a massa over our heads with a stick, in this case a soldier, so we can understand the people won't stay indoors at their homes. They'll have to have full-time security, or else by Sunday we'll hear a rise in positive cases. Then all day, all night curfew will be implemented. Exactly. Maybe that's what they need. Point. They need a massa. Don't forget to share the info with us about, yes. I'm still looking for CPEA specifically. CXC, you can check out the CXC website as well. Einstein's definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, yet expecting different results. We have 7 cases in all now then. 6 new ones plus patient 0, because people didn't do what they were asked to do. Why are we so confident in leaving it up to them to do differently? No. Don't forget, these people are already affected and have nothing to lose, but they can implicate the entire country. These persons should be kept in a secure place. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I'm advocating that I strongly believe that there should be more testing so that you would know if the virus is spreading. First point. Secondly, there is a dilemma with insurance for vehicles, and people are using their private vehicles more than ever before now. So I want to know, they're not certain if it's a finance area or a service area. There's a situation there where it's uncertain whether or not you can pay your insurance, because lack of paying insurance for your vehicle, if you knock down someone and you're not insured, that is a problem. That's another problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. I was just looking for the notice that I had. I had here. There are one or two insurances that have extended the deadline on their here it is. Like Guardian General, they have advised that policies which fall due for renewal between March 25th and April 15th will automatically be held covered for a period of 21 days from the date of expiry. So there are insurances that are making provisions for people who cannot come in to renew their policies. But again, we can verify our individual policies, not everybody is under the same insurance company, so we can all verify on our own if the same measure is being applied to most, if not all, of our insurance companies. But some are making provisions for that. But I understand your point, so we can just double check. Blossom, you all right? We need to obey the law of the land and try to help out ourselves. Exactly. If everybody stay inside and the 6 infected are the ones roaming the place, then there's nobody for them to infect. Blossom, I made this tune for the little ones. Wash your hands regularly. Wash your hands regularly. You can stay COVID-free and stay healthy and free to live and be with our family. Wash your hands regularly. There was another one that I was reading. Where did it go? Goodness. The individuals on the overload bus from Grandans to town should also be charged. They are not kids. They should also follow the COVID instructions. That too. Even if the bus driver decides he wants more than 3 people in his bus, why all of us must encourage him in his ill-advised wish to fill the bus? If the regulations, I won't say government, if the regulations say 3 passengers per bus, and there are 3 passengers in the bus, where is number 4 going? If we follow the rules, then the others don't have a choice but to follow it too. But because people are piling into these buses, then they're going to is more money for them. But if we decide 3 is 3 and go about your business, then they're going to close their bus and go with that 3 or don't run at all. But we're encouraging the mawet. So I think I agree with that person. Charge all man jack, because they know what they were doing too. When the UK and USA announced they had COVID, the government should have stopped all inbound flights like the UK and USA. Grenada was complacent in the beginning. I beg to differ. It was a fluid situation, so you had to see what was happening. You can't just see one case and shut it down. That's my opinion. You can't fault me for having my own. Good morning. Could you read? Yes, I did. Oh, that's the one I was looking for. Thank you. Could you read my contribution? We need daily discussion from the government in a clear manner. The Attorney General did a very professional job explaining to the public. We need more dialogue like that. Someone needs to step up and talk with one voice. Thanks again, Mr. Ramdani. That's the one I was looking for. I agree he did a very good job yesterday in breaking it down into layman terms for us. Good morning. God is in control. Big people have no respect for people's views. I'm tired of people with animals destroying my land. That continues to happen island-wide, including in my own place. Right now, I guess the focus is on COVID and not on not holding the animals. Good morning. Citizens are here sitting worrying about being compensated. This can be over with faster if we adhere to the regulations. We can't be blaming the government for our foolish behavior. I can't believe big people need someone to be looking over them. Stay inside if you don't need to be out. Agreed. We have 110,000 people and let's say 500 police officers. I mean, why we need massa? Being trapped at home is a death sentence for many adult males. Some of us females make a life for our male companions too difficult to enjoy the house as a home. My appeal to my female colleagues is a change in our attitudes. Their one place of solace is now closed, the pubs. Make it welcoming for them to stay home. She says, while I understand your point, the government is doing a lot and must be commended, but given that a person passes through our aisle with COVID from England Lord. And this lady came from England. Government should have taken responsibility to quarantine her because she was not cooped since she mixed with her family, and that's not self-quarantine. She was careless. Government should think about punishment. They did tell her to self-quarantine at home, but I guess in self-quarantine she was still going to the kitchen and the living room and so on and so forth. Good morning. There comes a time in life where everyone has to be concerned about themselves, and that time is now. Ooh, let me go back by the phone lines for, I believe this will be the final call of the program.
Hello, morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
I listened to the press conference that was held by the Minister of Health yesterday. And like one of your callers said, I was so disappointed from then until now. And actually I'm getting angry and angrier about that thing. One of the reasons being that I'm close to ground zero as far as the rumors are going. The minister and the doctors had a good opportunity yesterday to give us a general location. Because what we have now is a whole set of speculation. And I live in close to that area, very close. One of the persons who has been rumored to be a part of that whole situation have been coming on Lyme where just about all of us would Lyme. Actually, he was chased from the area by the proprietor of the place. And that is the kind of a thing that should not be. Because right now, a whole lot of us are apprehensive a lot more than we were. Because yesterday, the purpose of the press conference, I thought, before it started, I expected an announcement of more cases. Right? But here we are. When we should have been given clarity, we are left with more mystery. And given that, like I tell you, the whole thing is centered around the ground zero issue in Grenada. It so happened that the other 6 people, they say, are connected to that same house. And that's where the problem is. The people in the area, do they know? I mean, has the government people been going about and giving them a heads up as to what is going on in the area so that they should be even more cautious than other people? But the thing is that here I hear you, Miss Wells, saying that it is our responsibility to take care of ourselves and not so much the government as because we are big people. Hello. There are certain aspects of things that the government is responsible for our safety, and in a case like that where it's not suspected, they know definitely that the people have the virus. Ground zero should have been quarantined in a different way.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, caller. I beg to differ. That's the end of the program this morning. Thank you guys so much for participating and calling. To those of you who usually log on the Facebook and the YouTube, we were experiencing some technical difficulties. The technicians were aware. They were still working on it as we speak, a matter of fact. And hopefully it'll be back up and running as the day progresses. Just a reminder, Grenada has 7 confirmed cases of the virus. And while 7 is 7 too many, we need to do our best to ensure that it stays at 7. For those of you who are aware of where the patient zero and her family members or so on are staying, residing, quarantined, let's try not to make them feel... Let's try not to victimize them. That's it. Let's try not to victimize them. I know a lot of that has been taking place over the past few days, actually, but let's try to minimize it as much as we can. Let us remember that there are over 1,000 cases of the virus in the region. The most cases are in Dominican Republic with almost 500. Up to last night, they were at 488. 488 cases in the Dominican Republic. Guadeloupe is second with 84, and Martinique is third with 81. Let's try for Grenada not to reach up to them kind of figures of this. So do what you can to protect yourselves and your loved ones. Continue practicing proper sneeze and cough etiquette. Wash your hands, be wise and sanitize. Stay home, self-quarantine. Anything that is out there that you think you want to participate in, it would still be there when this phase is over. But the more we go out there and the more we spread it, is the longer it will take for us to get back to normal life. So do what you need to do and stay home. All your shoes, put it away in the closet because you won't be using it for a while. Have yourselves a fantastic Friday, a blessed weekend, a COVID-free weekend, and I repeat, be wise and sanitize. Brenda is up next with Mid-Morning Buzz. Have a good one.